What up, y'all? We back at it again with another episode of Uncommon Commentators. I am running the show today. I am your I am your host for tonight, producer Wiley. Of course, I'm always in the ones and twos. I got my guys with me. I got Antoine. I got Garrett. Garrett, what's up with you, man? How you doing today, bro?
Doing good, man. Just another day in the books, and we got a lot of things to talk about today, but of course we'll get into that. But everything's been good. How's everything going on with y'all?
Everything's smooth. Well, I'll get to me last. Antoine, Antoine came in busting through the door, trying to make it in, but we got him here. Antoine, how you doing, bro?
I'm great, man. Thank you for asking. I had to. And I just appreciate your patience again. I'm fresh out the shower. Most definitely. That's why I got this do-rag on right now, So for real. Thank you so much. As always a blessing to do this show. And I can't wait to go tonight, most definitely.
Yeah, man. Of course we missed you last week. Had a good show last week. Of course, for myself, I'm good, man. Shoot, back at boot camp. We got some crazy weather coming in, so trying to adjust and readjust and then readjust again. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, me and Garrett know about that. We might get snow down here.
We might.
In Georgia.
We might.
Y'all ass
we might
shut down. That's on the other hand up here in Louisville. We
man, it's gonna be like COVID. Everybody gonna be shut down.
Really? Them southern states do not fuck around with
you
the snow.
You see any flurries, they shutting down all the schools.
The whole state.
Winter Wonderland gonna be up in here, left and right.
We're just not used to that shit, man. Like the biggest part of it is really like the roads, the roads, like Georgia traffic, Atlanta traffic. They're just not used to that.
And y'all don't have the equipment to treat the roads and shit like that. So
yeah, like I've never had like real snow. I've never had to shovel my driveway growing up and stuff like that.
It ain't nothing to be joyous about. That shit's for the birds. I tell you that right now from personal experience. That shit is for the birds.
You had real snowball fights though. Like probably got to make real snowmen and stuff like that.
I'm not going outside in the snow unless I absolutely necessarily have to.
Nah, for sure.
I don't like cold weather out here. 20 degrees. Nah.
Fuck no.
No,
absolutely not.
But for everybody that's watching on Twitter or YouTube, please hit the QR code that is our link tree for the show. Follow us all on our socials. Please go subscribe to the YouTube page. Get these subs up. We trying to build this page up. Trying to get out here and do the Lord's work, as my girl would always say. Just trying to do the Lord's work and bless y'all with a great show. And speaking of the show, so I was looking at this run. Well, I was thinking about the rundown. And Antoine, I know normally you do the rundown for us. And shout out to going what's that? Going grounds.
Going rounds, like fighting, going rounds. Okay. Most definitely.
Shout out to y'all. We appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all pulling in. But yeah, I was thinking about this. I was like, okay, Antoine ain't put the notes up yet because you normally do it. And I was like, oh, this first topic, first topic that we're about to discuss. I was like, I'm pretty sure because I kind of paid it dust a little bit because I was just looking at. I saw it. I paid it dust for a little bit just because I wasn't really looking at my Twitter like that for real, and I just kind of paid it dust, and then I doubled back when I really had some time. Now it's like, oh, this might be something to talk about, but just to kind of bring the topic into play here. Do any of y'all own any pair of Lebrons?
Last time, man, not currently. Just to give you the answer, no, not currently.
Okay, but you have owned a pair.
Absolutely, yeah, most definitely.
So what's your And for the people that are watching, what's your favorite? What's like your favorite? I think I got like 2 or 3.
I had a pair of the 10s. It was like the Charlotte Hornet colorway of the 10s. That's what it was, I believe.
So I currently have 2 pair of the 7s. That's my favorite between those and the 9s. Those are like my 2 faves of bronze. And then I had a pair of 1s back in the day. I've had quite a few pairs. I had a pair. Actually, no, I think I have a pair of. I think I got a pair of 20s. No, not 20s. I think it's no, it is 20s. I got a pair of 20s as well. But I bring that up, I bring that up because the issue that we're talking about here is Nike and LeBron they displayed a shoe. And they displayed the shoe on January 2nd. They played the Grizzlies. LeBron, displayed this shoe called Honor the King. This shoe pretty much commemorated. Well, there's 2 portions of it. There's 2 sides to this. So one side is it paid homage to his 51-point game against Memphis back on MLK Day in 2008. But the colorway of these shoes is inspired by the Lorraine Hotel that Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated at. So here's where the uproar comes up at. And when you think about it, when you sit back and think about it, that's a tough pill to swallow for both LeBron and Nike, everybody involved, because when you look at it, like, how do you even fathom to kind of mesh all this together? And of all things, this is how you want to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. So before we like take a look at the shoe and everything, I'll start with you. Antoine. What's your thoughts about this as you looked over this?
Man, I think that, the backlash, you can't control that. When the masses are involved, all these people from different walks of life, they're always going to have varying opinions, regardless of whatever you're talking about. And for something this sensitive, someone, such a legendary figure like Martin Luther King Jr., I think people are always going to be protective of his legacy and what he stands for, just in the Black community overall. So I think we're like, if you're ever going to do something, you try to pay tribute. I think it's always, set at a certain standard. And I think for one, I think the thought was really cool. We've seen the NBA, the Atlanta Hawks themselves have the MLK jerseys. We used to have the MLK court. We used to do as well for the Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
That'll be
of course,
next year.
Right. Of course, him being from Atlanta, Georgia, we know how much he means to us. So we have seen apparel dedicated to Martin Luther King Jr. before. Absolutely. So I just think that it's because I get it, even it's tragic that he was assassinated, but him dying at that location, it's made that Lorraine Motel a landmark in itself in American history.
Now it's a museum now.
Right. Of course. Right. So yeah, even with you adding that and that information, I think that people shouldn't have cracked down on it as hard as they did. It wasn't nowhere near meant to be disrespectful or nothing like that. And then plus it's shoes, plus, he knows. Well, he knew it was going to sell. The shoes are definitely selling for sure.
They're not out. They're not out yet. So just to be clear, this shoe it's supposed to come out. They said spring of 2026. So whenever the fuck that is. So this shoe is not out. Again, this was just like a reveal.
Right. Of course. And even then, even just to end my answer, because I do think it is still going to sell. We'll see how it fares now, seeing the controversy it's under. But to give my final answer, I don't think people should have cracked on it the way that they did. We've seen the NBA dedicate apparel to Martin Luther King Jr. a bunch of times. These were shoes. It's not like it's like, you know, anything that's defecating or disrespectful or anything like that. It's shoes. You know, everyone wears shoes. Plus, like, I mean, I guess because, I mean, I get it. It's the motel. It's the place where he died. And, but I think that's just kind of trying to broadcast to the world, like, it's like he's trying to broadcast to the world, like, you know, like, that's not something that people should run from. It's something like how you said, it's a museum now. It's something that should be honored. Like, you know, such a legendary figure. This is where he took his final breath, literally, that in his young life. So I just think, you know, that place is always going to be a landmark in itself. And I think that's how, you know, outside of putting MLK on the shoes or having his face on the shoe or whatever, I think that was one of the ways they could have paid tribute to him and really have that personification, that presentation, like on shoes, like on apparel and stuff. You know, the Hawks did it with the jerseys, just having his initials on the jerseys. You know, LeBron wanted to do it, having his you know, the place where he took his final breaths and stuff like that. And like how you said, that place is a museum now, so it's a pretty popular destination as well. So I don't think people should have cracked on it the way that they did. But we'll see how this how the shoe sells when it comes out, though. Most definitely, that'll definitely tell us a lot for sure.
Garrett, what you got?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand what you know, Antoine was saying about the whole idea of, you know, paying homage to Dr. Martin Luther King. But only thing I will say is that even though that is just a shoe, when if you're going to pay homage to that, there's always going to be a story behind it. So when people wear it, they're just not just going to wear it because it's a shoe, but it's more so for why the shoe was designed for that purpose. So I think that's why people were sensitive about the whole idea of it, because of how you're you know, displaying the whole message as to why you created the shoe. But I think for me, I don't think it certainly would have been great. I think it's a great idea to pay homage, you know, to Dr. Martin Luther King, but I don't think they should have done it in that manner. I think it would have been better if if it had like colorways, or if you had some sort of initials or anything like that, you know, in terms of the color, just represent him versus not representing of how or where he passed, just to tone it down a bit. And of course, obviously when you're integrating, you know, your, you know, performance, you know, when you was in Memphis, I'm not saying that's, you know, selfish or anything like that, but I just think that for me, if the whole holiday, obviously, of course, if it's all about Dr. Martin Luther King, then I think you just need to, you know, set it just with that, just to keep it basic. You know what I mean? I think if you kept it just basic, then I think you would have avoided, you know, all that backlash. You know, just to keep it, you know, keep it simple. So I mean, people know you know, your history, meaning LeBron, you know, your stats and all that kind of stuff. People can look it up. But like I said, I think it would have been better if they just went about it a different way, where it was just more so about him, and just kept it that way, just kept it simple. So I think it was a good idea, but they should have gone about it that way instead.
Right.
LeBron fans about to be mad at me. Then I don't give a shit. This was stupid. This is stupid as fuck. This was, and this shows that how tone deaf both him and Nike are. And yes, he is definitely a part of this, because there's no way in hell that he did not give the thumbs up on this shoot. Like we know that he has anybody with and this goes for anybody with a signature shoe. You have some input. At the end of the day, they come to you and be like, hey, are you good with this? You're either going to give them a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And if you give them a thumbs down, you make whatever, you tell them what you want, they fix it, they bring it back to you. But when it's all said and done, you have to give the thumbs up on this shit. This shoe is completely tone deaf. actually, I'm not even. I'm going to save a lot of what I have to say because what I have to say pretty much is embedded in what David Dennis Jr. of ESPN what he had to say. So I'm going to play this clip and we'll go forth after that.
But capitalism is going to get us all. I'm telling you. So LeBron James, Nike are releasing or unveiling today that they're releasing a shoe to commemorate the life of Dr. Martin Luther King by having a colorway that is taken from the Lorraine Motel, the place where Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee, and slapping it on a Nike shoe and selling it for $210. Also on the shoe is a commemoration of LeBron James scoring 51 points in Memphis, because that moment in American history deserves to be on the same space as the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. Look, there are so many other places that you can take colorways from to honor Dr. King. You can take places from Atlanta. Take Birmingham, Montgomery. What about Washington, D.C., where he delivered the I Have a Dream speech? The last place that I would think of would be the signage from where he was assassinated. Now, look, the Lorraine Motel has now been turned into the National Civil Rights Museum. It's a beautiful museum. I know a lot about it. I was there when it opened. Actually, I was 4 years old. It does a beautiful job of telling the story of Dr. King in those last days. And I encourage everybody to go. I do not encourage everybody to feel as though buying a $200 shoe of the signage of the Lorraine Motel is doing anything to honor anybody. It just feels like a tone-deaf situation from Nike, from LeBron, from all parties involved. And I think it's also important to note why Dr. King was in Memphis in the first place on the day that he was assassinated. He was there for the rights of sanitation workers, union workers, for their livelihood and their well-being, and to honor that by creating a shoe that is made from people who are suffering from, unjust labor laws and are forced to make these shoes is not really the way to go. Dr. Martin Luther King was killed while trying to fight against the dredges of capitalism. There's nothing more capitalist than slapping Nike on a shoe on a color that sort of trivializes, not sort of, very much so trivializes one of the most gruesome murders in American history. Absolutely disgraceful move by all parties involved. I don't even know where the money's going. Is the money even going? To proceeds going in anywhere? Is it lining people's pockets to say, hey, let's go. You got those new MLK LeBrons that show the place that he was killed, and to releases on MLK Day. This is just bad marks all around for everybody involved. Disgraceful, disgusting act. And I hope that they can figure out some sort of way to right this wrong.
So pretty much David Dennis Jr. pretty much said everything that I kind of wanted.
He was spot on.
But so he got a shit ton of backlash for this. But nobody knows the real reason why David Dennis Jr. Went on this, 2 almost 3 minute rant. His father, David Dennis, was a civil rights activist. And his involvement was, started in the 1960s. His father is best known for his Mississippi voters registration efforts and his freedom ride efforts in Mississippi and Alabama. So that's why he feels. I mean, I'm pretty sure he would have felt that way regardless. But this really touches home for him in more ways than one. So again, and for those who have not seen the article or know what this shoe looks like, this is what the shoe looks like. Again, this is the color of this pretty much is the color of the sign of the Lorraine Motel. The one part that really pissed me off about this shoe is the back of the shoe. That says equality.
Oh my God.
So
That's why I say it's more than just a shoe.
You put this on the back of the shoe as if this is going to make a fucking difference in anything. As if anything has really changed since the fucking 1960s. There's no real equality in the fucking US. We see what the fuck is going on right now in the world. So that part really pissing me off. It's the shoe already pissing me off. But then you slap this shit on here.
Yeah.
Antoine, I would have been better. I would have been fine with them slapping Martin Luther King Jr.'s face on there. You could have got somebody to custom paint your shoe.
Yeah.
For MLK Day. But
yeah,
again, this is the Lorraine Motel sign. Like this is your inspiration. And like again, completely tone deaf. That shit like it should piss a lot of people off because this is a part of history. And if you know your history, you know that this place is not a good place. You know, this doesn't have good memories. And my thing is this.
Mm-hmm.
We used to be a proper country at one point. And I'll take this back 10. We'll go back 10 to about 12 years. We used to be a proper country. Whatever happened to just going and doing the Black History Month shoe, like we've done for past years? Whatever happened to that? You could have easily done a Black History Month shoe instead of this. You had so many ways, like you said, you had, if you were going to honor Dr. King, you had so many other ways to do it, and you did.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So let's get back to being the proper country that we are when it comes to these tennis shoes, especially for the ones that do have signature shoes. Like be mindful of what the fuck you're doing and what you're agreeing to, because you're going to get backlash with this shit, and there's no hiding from it. Yeah, LeBron's going to remain quiet on it, and that's all fine and dandy. But in the grand scheme of things, hey dog, this is your shoe. You wore this shoe for a reason. But again, the selfish side of LeBron is that you wanted to put yourself in this as well by saying, "Oh, this shoe is for when I drop 51 on Memphis." Like, if you're gonna do that, then make the fucking shoe for yourself, about yourself, and not Dr. King. It's one or the other.
That's what I mean.
Do one or the other. You can do both, but again, be mindful about the shit.
Right.
And the thing about it though is that the title "Honor the King," I mean, you're not really honoring the king if you're partially adding yourself into the shoe. Like,
I'm about to say, that's not about Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah,
that's not. That's about him.
I mean, like, look, I mean, just looking at the shoe, it doesn't represent Dr. King in any shape or form. Because I mean, these colors, like, I get it about the hotel part, but it doesn't, replicate Martin Luther King. For me, I'm thinking, darker colors like gold, white, black, brown, something like that.
Right.
But not these, colors here. And like you say, it said what, equality on the back of the shoe. Come on now. Like, you can't integrate that, with the hotel. So yeah, I mean, to your point, Wyatt, I mean, if the color, if those colors had, if the colors had to be it, if that's what it had to be, then yeah, like I said, I would have put some sort of initial or his face.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have done like the colorway period, because it doesn't match. I mean, I never seen nothing like that at all. But like I said, still, it's just crazy work. So I don't think people are really going to buy this shoe anyways. You may get a handful, and
I don't know.
Nobody's not paying $200 for that. Nobody.
Yeah, that 210.
Nobody's not paying $200.
Yeah. What?
I don't know, because now that the amount of uproar there first off, LeBron and Nike would be a fucking fool
to put that shit out, man.
But
this is why I love Jordan. I'm on this side.
If they do, that shoe is going to sell just because of the amount of attention this shoe has gotten.
Well,
and
just niggas trolling, like just niggas trying to just go against the grain.
Come on, dog. Motherfuckers are gonna buy the shit just on the strength.
I mean, they probably will, but
it's gonna be just on the strength not knowing, and they're not going. It's going to be the ones who do not care about
It's
the
gonna be
history.
like, hey man,
Of
I want
course,
them
of course.
bitches like straight
Of
up.
course.
And then when they or they're going to buy it because of said history, but them not fully knowing said history.
Yeah.
And see, the shoes that you put up, Wiley, were a much better fit.
Dog,
I agree.
again, we used to be a proper country, dog.
Proper.
Country. I used to.
The black, gold, purple.
So
those would fit it much better, much better.
So they not only did they do Black History Month, but of course, they had the Christmas. They kind of went on a run where they made their shoes or their colorways with the seasons. So you had like I said, you had the Black History Month. Then a month or so later, here comes the Easter colors, and then you got
like
Christmas
Kanye with the Red October.
Like you had these colorways that went throughout the seasons, not only the season of the NBA, but the seasons of the year.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that? Bring that back. Like, like I said, I've said my piece. It was stupid, it was selfish, but again, this is LeBron that we're talking about. So, I mean, hey, LeBron fans, y'all can say what you want in the comments. You better come correct because I will embarrass you. Moving on. Moving the fuck on. The NBA All-Star starters have been selected. And I'm gonna run these down to y'all. After I run these down, I will get your thoughts, and then we'll kind of go from there, because I'm pretty sure this may get a little interesting. But for the Eastern Conference, you have Giannis, you have Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, Cade Cunningham, Tyrese Maxey. For the Western Conference, you have Steph Curry, Luka, SGA, Joker, and Wemby. Now, so to set the rest of the table, the 14 reserves they'll be named on February 1st. We also have to take into effect that this All-Star game, the All-Star game is going to be U.S. versus the world. So there will be 2 U.S. teams, 1 world team. They'll play round robin games. I hate this whole format, but that's another topic once we get closer to All-Star. Put it like this, I hope this works. With the starters, how do y'all feel about the starters, and do you feel anybody got snubbed? Garrett, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so I'll start with Eastern Conference. I think they got it right here with everybody that you just named. I think you got it right. So I mean, everybody in the starting 5 is playing well, and they are the best players in the East. So I think they got it right there. I don't think anyone got snubbed in the Eastern Conference. Of course, we'll probably, in terms of snubs, I mean, traditionally, really, both East and the West, normally the starters, they pretty much always get it right. They may get it wrong here and there. So yeah, the starters are good with me. For the Western Conference, I will say it is shocking to not see LeBron in the starting 5. I'm not sure if it's because of the MLK shoot, but inside joke. But anyways, I mean, yeah, it's kind of shocking to see him not be in the starting 5, which is weird, because to my understanding, that was exactly 21 years straight. So yeah, I would say it was kind of a snub, but I know he's been dealing with injuries this year, so I'm guessing that may have played a factor into it. But no, for the stars in the West as well, I think it's very, very solid. So all these guys are worthy starters, including Wemby, because we know it's only going to be a matter of time before he became a starter for the West. But everybody else, yeah, you can always make a case for it. So it's solid.
Antoine, what you got?
Yeah, and same here. For the East and the West, I expect Giannis to start. Jaylen Brown deserves it. Jalen Brunson, it's whatever, because Because like Kate's in the, I mean, because Kate's in the starting lineup. You feel me? So I mean, like, fuck it. But like, they've definitely been struggling. So I feel like that's debatable, most definitely. And Tyrese Maxey, that's 3 fucking point guards in the starting lineup.
I mean, this is what happens when you
they don't really go traditional.
Yeah, this is what happens when you go away from positions. When you go away from
exactly
point guard, shooting guard, like. I think this lineup will be different if we were playing positions and not doing guards and forwards. But go ahead.
Nah, for sure. Nah, you're right. Mustaf. I mean, Jaylen Brown's here. I guess he's playing the power forward, and Giannis plays the 5. Same for the West. You got 3 point guards starting in the West. Yep, and you got 2 of the best centers, most definitely 2 of the best bigs, if not the best bigs in the league right now, with Nikola and Wembanyama. Yeah, like, I definitely expect all these dudes to start. Steph Curry, I mean, I saw that Anthony Edwards was averaging like 30. He's averaging like career numbers right now. He had like 55, I think, the other night, and like, unfortunately, they lost that game. But like the Timberwolves are definitely doing better than the Warriors right now, especially after losing Jimmy Butler. So we know Curry, he got that off the seniority, most definitely. I thought that Anthony Edwards deserved it off the merit, most definitely. But yeah, Luka's accurate. He's the scoring leader right now. SGA's, he's the top of the West, top of the league, really. And like I said, the 2 best bigs. So it all makes sense to me, most definitely.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't necessarily have a problem with these starters. Again, I saw them and I was just like, all right, because I had to think about it again, and it was like, oh yeah, this stupid ass format that we're doing this year, it's not gonna matter anyways, because the US team are going to be split in 2. So, I do agree as far as when it comes to both Donovan Mitchell and Anthony Edwards possible snubs. When it comes to Anthony, like you said, Anthony Edwards, he's definitely averaging the most he's averaged, and his efficiency is just as good as Steph's this year. Their team is playing just a hair better. I say that loosely because both the T-Wolves and the Warriors do not look good. At least to me. Mm-hmm. Argue amongst yourselves on that one. Donovan Mitchell, I think part of it is the way the Cavs look. I think that's a piece of it. But I mean, yeah, because the Cavs are currently in 5th place as we speak, 25 and 20. But Donovan Mitchell has been the constant on that team. So, I mean, again, it's kind of a who's who. If you want, because my thing is, okay, if you believe these players belong in the starting lineup, who are you taking off?
So, I mean, yeah, so I'm taking Curry out the starting lineup. I'm definitely putting Anthony Edwards. I think he deserves it. I think he's been playing phenomenal, like I said. For Jalen Brunson, just pulling up the East, like I said, I mean, like he could definitely be in that spot. He's been playing really good. I think Brandon Ingram definitely could have been an all-star starter as well. Just how like Toronto, how good. Like, I mean, I just thought like he was playing. I think he's been playing really. He'll be an all-star for sure. Just seeing where Toronto
all-star, yes. Starter, no.
I mean, like, I get it. You got dudes like Jaylen Brown, Jalen Brunson, like, Kid Cunningham. These are big names and stuff like that. I just thought, like, with the way Toronto's looking right now, they definitely impressed me for sure. I think they've definitely exceeded expectation. But, it's all opinions at the end of the day. You feel me? But I definitely think he could have been in there. Giannis Antetokounmpo. He's going to get it regardless. And Giannis is still playing like Giannis, most definitely. It's just the Bucks fucking suck right now.
I mean, but you're willing to let Giannis hold this spot, but not Steph.
But see, I think, because Curry, like, I still think Giannis is playing incredible. It's just with Steph, like, and that's why I said that's solely off, like, the seniority. Curry's average. Don't get me wrong, he's averaging 27 points a game with 3 rebounds.
Curry is carrying that team. Like,
and 5 assists. He's playing great. I just think that like Anthony Edwards, in my opinion, I thought he could have been in there, but everyone else, again, like it does make sense. Luka, he's averaging like 34 a game right now. SGA, he's the leader of the number 1 seed in the West. Nikola Jokic, it's Nikola Jokic, you feel me? And Victor Wembanyama, he's been playing great too since San Antonio's been playing phenomenal. So yeah, I think it all makes sense. But
I was gonna say when All-Star voting got mentioned, I'm gonna give you names that I knew were automatic lock. Giannis, Steph, Luka, SGA, Nikola, Joker, and Wemby. That's 6 people right there. Everybody else is, I mean, hell, of those 6, the starting 5 is in the West. So,
I mean,
and Garrett, I know you mentioned LeBron, but again, Luka it's Luka's time,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'm not gonna say it's his time, but if we're going off of stats like they typically try to do, then yeah, Luka's going to be the pick.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
just more so me coming from a political standpoint, you know.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned the political standpoint. Cue the tape.
LeBron James not being the starter was somewhat surprising to me, but in terms of the only other person we could put on LeBron right now is Michael Jordan, right?
Okay.
Michael Jordan went through the same thing in 2003. The difference is Michael Jordan said he was retiring, so the expectation would be he would be voted in as a starter, but Tracy McGrady and Allen Iverson had more votes than him. He was actually 5th in East voting. Ben Wallace had more votes than him. And when they got to the game in Atlanta, which to me might be the greatest All-Star game ever played, Isaiah Thomas, Jordan's rival, begged one of the East starters to give up their starting spot so Jordan could start.
Would you look at that?
And your fellow UNC Tar Heel, Vince Carter gave it up to the other Tar Heel, and Jordan ended up starting.
So, for those that are upset about LeBron not being the starter, he's going to start. He's going to start. History's going to repeat itself, but like you said, Jordan said that he was retiring. Hence the reason why they shuffled his old ass up there and ended up giving us one of the best fucking All-Star games that we've seen
in the Phillips Arena, boy.
But I'm not concerned. I'm never concerned when it comes to LeBron. It's LeBron. He's going to be an All-Star. Let's not get all bent out of shape about it because he's not named starter. He's still going to be an All-Star. Now, if he wasn't, it'd be different if the names came out and he wasn't an All-Star. All right, now we got something to talk about. But he's going to be an All-Star. He's going to end up starting on whatever fucking team he's put on, and we're going to go about this as if nothing happened.
Man, I agree. I think it's just more so about like, I mean, it's something we already knew. It's already the dawn of a new era. LeBron's on a team and not the focal point of the team. It's the first time that's ever happened in his fucking career. So it's the first of many things for LeBron. His streak got broken this year, passing the ball to Rui Hachimura for a fucking game winner. I mean, it's just one thing after the other.
It was the right play.
For sure. Hell yeah.
Mr. Make, now, let me reiterate. Miss or make, that was the right play. Mm-hmm. I'm glad Rui hit that shot.
Yeah,
most definitely. Like there's so much show. There's so many signs that say like, man, the end is definitely near. I can't tell you he's gonna retire this summer. I definitely think he's gonna try to see what kind of bag he can get. If his body can still go, I think LeBron still wants the money for fuck sure. Like you can literally never, even with all the residual income that he has, you can never have enough money, most definitely. But yeah, like I feel you though. For
like
sure.
Said,
like
we've had this conversation before about if LeBron does another year. Again, some team is going to be stupid enough, and
they're going to call him for sure.
I'll just leave it at that. I mean, there's other shit that's going on surrounding LeBron too. We're not going to get into that. That's a lot of mess, and that's also some shit I need to go read up on before I even decide to talk about it. Or if we decide to talk about it, actually, if y'all decide to talk about it. But
yeah.
Now when it comes to, like I said, reserves, we'll find out about them February 1st. I'm going to name some names. And y'all tell me yes or no. Scotty Barnes.
Yes.
And what?
Oh, what for being like an all-star, like reserve?
All-star reserve.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah, hell yeah, he's having a great year.
Hey, Jalen Duren.
Yes. Fuck sure. Fuck sure.
Jalen Johnson.
Of course.
Fuck sure.
Absolutely.
He
better be in it. He better be in it. He better be in it.
Fuck sure.
Like you mentioned earlier, Donovan Mitchell.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Could have been a starter.
Michael Porter Jr.
I'm gonna be I refuse to ignore hard work. I think it's averaging 25.7.
Bro, hard work.
I mean, I get it. Niggas could be like numbers, all the dead numbers and shit. He's averaging 26 points a game. Like,
why is that, Antoine?
Like I said, obviously he's out in Brooklyn, but he could be shooting like shit though.
That's lit. There you go.
He could be shooting like shit though. Like, players play. You still have to perform. You still have to ball on these niggas.
As good as Michael Porter Jr. is, and if you go to a team with Brooklyn with a full players of nobody,
I mean, Cam Thomas.
It is no surprising where the man's going to average almost 30.
Cam Thomas takes like 50 shots a game. I think skill is still skill. You can be an ass player on an ass team. It happens all the time.
Yeah,
niggas can be like, someone has to take the shot
for it because of the team.
Somebody got to shoot the rock.
But it's like, he's shooting like 39. He's like 40% from three, and we're like fucking almost 40 games in. Like
because he's taking all the shots.
But again, like I said, he could miss them too. He could be out there on like 39% shooting. Like, nah, man, he's definitely playing. He's playing fucking good, and I'm not gonna hate on that nigga.
I mean, that's expected, yes. 20, like again, if you're going through a rebuild, I mean, of course, the seasoned guys are going to get the most shots. They're going to play the most minutes. We all know this. Now, it would be more impressive if it was where Brooklyn was, competing for a playoff spot. Then that'll be, different. But Brooklyn is one of the worst teams in the East. I think they had like the third worst record.
They're like 13th right now. Yeah. I mean, like,
that's like saying Trae Young should be in mix too, because even though he hasn't played a game in Washington though, but I mean,
okay, so like we talk about players like Vince Carter all the time, right? How good he was and shit like that. I get a high flying, half a man, half amazing. Toronto fucking sucked. Toronto sucked that whole time. But he was still making the All-Star team.
You know what? I take that back though, because you know what? They made Lauri Markkanen an All-Star when we was in Utah, and they wasn't winning anything. They were still one of the worst teams in the West. So what?
Hold on.
I just still think a good player is a good.
I don't think so, but
a good player is a good player.
Time the fuck out. We're not gonna speed past that shit like you just didn't say that.
I mean, the whole Toronto shit. Fuck that. Fuck it. I'm not saying like
Toronto was in the playoffs when Vince was there. What are you talking about?
But I'm saying like they're not finding like that concrete success. Like just because a player isn't finding success on a team doesn't mean a player's not a good player. No, you
said that Vince Carter was making the All-Star game in Toronto.
But I'm saying okay.
Toronto was big hooping. It was because of Vince Carter.
I mean, so they're making the playoffs, like 5th seed, 6th seed, stuff like that. Sure, but like I said, and my point definitely still stands. A good player is a good player, even on an ass team. You can be on an ass team missing shit, getting your shot blocked. He's playing good. Look at it this way. What's the point of even bringing him up if he's completely not in the fucking run? Like Wiley had to have thought he was playing pretty fucking good this year.
Actually, I just did some research. I'm going off of the research that I found. This is because I would have not put him in this list. I could have found.
I mean, he's still playing
I could
good.
have found another player on a better team than fucking Michael Porter Jr. But also, so two things can be true. You can make the All-Star team, and your team can be ass.
You can. That's why I said, hey, he
definitely.
might.
Hell yeah.
That's why we were like, but I'm with Jared. Somebody got to shoot the ball. And I know Cam Thomas. But that was, but when we think about it, that's the whole reason why he's in Brooklyn. He left Denver.
It's like, yo, John Wall was in Detroit all the years.
No, he got
John
traded.
Wall was
He didn't ask for a trade.
Yeah.
So
he got traded to Brooklyn, and Brooklyn was in need of they needed somebody else to put the ball in the basket outside of Cam Thomas.
Most definitely.
And put Michael Porter Jr., who we saw in Denver, every time that motherfucker, somebody passed him the ball, that bitch was not going back to anybody else. That bitch was going up to the basket.
Yep.
I mean, there's not a better scorer on the team than him like that in terms of his size, his ability to get to the rim, his 3-level scoring, like all that. You feel me? Yeah, bro. Like I said, like you can be. Like I said, you feel me? You can.
I said I didn't think Michael Porter Jr. would cause this much uproar.
Nah, I mean it's not. I mean, it's whatever. Like I'm just saying, like, players can fall off, fade into obscurity. Like I think a good player is a good player regardless of whatever. Like you can still put up numbers, whatever. Like you can be a good player on a bad team, like most definitely. And I think a good player is a good player. Like he could miss though. He could, with the increased usage, he could play worse. With the increased usage, he's playing better. So that's the point I'm saying. Like he could still miss those shots. Is he gonna be an all-star? Shit, probably not. Because no one's really talking about him out there. They're not. He's having a good fucking year.
They trash. That's why. But
all
right, let's get out. Let's get off Michael Porter Jr. We got to finish this up. We got Norman Powell
in Miami.
No.
Probably not.
No.
I mean, he's good. Probably not though.
Hold on. That's what the hell is Norman Powell doing? So Miami.
He's averaging like 22 a game this year. He's playing good still. Because Tyler was out.
He's averaging 23, and he's the highest scorer on Miami.
Yeah,
23, almost 24 a game.
Well, potentially.
Now he's a good player. I mean, he could,
Carl Anthony.
Yeah, that might be like a sleeper pick on that one.
Carl Anthony Towns, absolutely.
Oh yeah, sure. Carl. Yeah, Cat. Yeah.
What's that?
Didn't he
have DJ?
Didn't he have DJ?
Yeah.
He should get in it. He should get in it.
He's been playing great too.
All right,
yeah,
Devin Booker.
Tough cover.
Devin Booker.
Yeah, I'm always gonna give D-Book love because he got snubbed many times.
Many times. Only a 4-time All-Star.
He should definitely be in it.
Kevin Durant.
Of course.
Fuck sure.
Anthony Edwards.
Without a doubt.
Chet Holmgren.
Yeah. Yeah. I think he'll make it.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe, but maybe I wouldn't do it this year.
How about the team success? He's a prominent player on the team.
I think they're just other guys that deserve it more.
For sure.
I think he'll become an all-star. I don't think he'll be this year.
Jalen Williams for shit sure.
Jamal Murray.
He should. Yes, finally.
Jalen Williams
finally this year.
Enough games. He's
been out. Jalen Williams ain't played enough.
Yeah.
And Alfred Sengun.
For sure.
Yes.
He's more popular than I thought he was. He had a shit ton of votes. He had like over almost 10 or
think about it. It's the fan votes and it's worldwide. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Popular as fuck. I don't
know. Jalen. It's gonna be tough for him to get in, kind of.
Right. I was like, I feel like I'm like you. I feel like he ain't played enough yet.
No, I ain't talking about Jalen Williams. I'm talking about Jalen Johnson because he got
Jalen Johnson
competition. Because you still have to look at Paul Banchero as well if he's gonna get in. That's another guy that I think will be in it. Embiid, he'll be in the mix too. I don't think Josh Giddey will be in it. I think that's a sleeper pick. because he's averaging almost a triple double.
Not a bad pick.
Almost a triple double too. So
You think Pascal with Indiana playing
Brandon Miller, maybe a sleeper. But
LaMelo, I think LaMelo's going to be an all-star for sure.
Not coming off the fucking bench now.
Yeah, I'll probably, Brandon Miller, he's been playing pretty good. Yeah, so there's other few names though, but I mean, like I said, JJ, he's he has his case, so I think he'll
incredible year.
I say he's had a solid year, so
I'd be shocked if he didn't.
It's gonna be very interesting come February 1st. So we'll see. We'll see as this goes along.
Which roster do you think is better? Let me ask you. Like out of the starters and right now, like which roster do you favor in the All-Star?
It's not even. That's not even close.
Yeah, the West is always going to own the NBA until further notice.
But I'm interested to see how the U.S. is going to be split. How they're going to split these teams up, because the world.
I'm thinking it's going to be. I think it's going to be where, since you have the international team, I think it's going to be, like you say, split for the U.S. teams. So it's going to be East versus West, and then for whatever other U.S. team out of the two, they're going to use. There's going to be that team versus international. That's how I'm looking at it.
They say each team's going to have a minimum of 8 players.
Okay, so you're talking about starting 5 and then three reserves.
Reading this shit, I'm just like, yeah, this is stupid. So you're going to do a round robin. You're going to do a round. Pretty much, you're going to play a round robin. 2 U.S. teams, 1 international team, and they'll compete in a round robin tournament featuring 4 12-minute games. This shit is stupid. I
don't think they should. I mean, honestly, they should just done it like, U.S. versus international. Don't split the teams.
Right. Just
go down the middle and just sort it out.
Put 2 teams together. Go play 4 quarters.
That's what I would have done. Yep.
Or just keep it East and West. Go out there.
Of course, keep it traditional, of course, yeah. But
Jesus,
I mean, I said before, the U.S. versus international, I think that was a good twist, but still keep the format simple. But
hell, it didn't work when they tried with the rookies and the sophomores.
Mm-hmm. Damn, I'm gonna watch that game.
I mean, yeah, but I think you'll get a better crowd or more entertainment with the actual, big boys, the actual all-stars in this case. So I think a lot of people would like to see Anthony Edwards versus a SGA. Well, yeah, I mean that in that case, yeah. So I mean,
Anthony,
something like that.
We'll see. We'll see when the rubber meets the road, and once teams are picked and all this other stuff. I need to see how this is going to work out, because
you have to see it.
But on to our last topic of the night. We are going to look at the New York Knicks. This was a what the fuck is going on with the Knicks? And they played the fucking Nets last night. And again, it's the fucking Nets. So, they got their confidence. They got confidence going into that game on Saturday, where they'll play the Sixers. That was a practice. That was practice. I watched. That was a whole ass practice. That was a layup line and 3-point shooting practice game. But prior to the Knicks woes, and this didn't happen until after they won the NBA Cup. They got to the NBA Cup. They were 18-7. They are now 26-18.
Wow.
They have gone 3-9 over their last 12 games. They got blown out before this before this Nets game, they got their ass kicked by the Mavs, a depleted Mavs at that, and they've had Jalen Brunson has had to call a team meeting, like pretty much the whole nine. In y'all's opinion, what do you think has happened with the Knicks up until this point? Antoine, go ahead. My bad.
Just think like, man, like they've really just grown stagnant, like just really given like the success they reached up until that point. I think they came out the gate. Of course, every team is confident at the beginning of the season, but I think they even impressed themselves with their ability to come out and begin their season 18-7. They were like the 2 seed or the 3rd seed before they started losing like this, unfortunately. Can y'all still hear me? Just want to make sure I'm not lagged. You know? Okay, cool. My bad. So I just think teams are zeroing in on this team. They know how talented they are, having multiple all-stars, with Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. And I also think Mike Brown really might have trouble adjusting with this roster as well, just given what they're capable of. We knew that the Knicks had some bench issues, but I feel like they've most of their bench players, Yabusele, he hasn't really been able to have an impact this year, unfortunately. But in terms of their roster, I think it's kind of like their depth, like when it hits their bench, you got like Landry Shamet, he's a good piece, but he's only averaging like 9 points per game right now. Tyler Kolek, he's really good. But I just think like that's really like their biggest issue is like their bench. Now you have the starting lineup, OG Anunoby averaging 16, Mikal averaging 16, Cat 20, and Jalen Brunson 28. So you have a lot of good, really good starters, like really high usage players with Cat, with Jalen Brunson, and some good role players as well, like OG. So on paper, they're still a great team. I just think that I just think teams are really zeroing in on what they're really good at. And I just think like they're really struggling when it comes to like their offensive execution. Even going down some of like their team, like, their games right now. There's some games where Jalen Brunson's shooting like 37%, like 47% in these losses. And I just think, that's really what it comes down to. Like teams are zeroing in on this team really. Because they have one of the best offenses, having Cat, having Jalen Brunson. And I just think it's really the adjustments people are having on New York. The whole league watched them win that NBA Cup. So I definitely think it put some teams, it put them on some teams' radar, most definitely seeing how good they were, and how they they came back to beat the Spurs to win that trophy. But now I think it's getting to a point, like I said, I think just growing a little stagnant. I think that players only meeting, it's going to do them some good. Like how you said, we saw how that translated to them destroying the Brooklyn Nets. So I think this one's going to be big for some confidence. As you did say, it is Brooklyn. So you could take from that what you will. But, they're losing to the Mavericks, losing to the Suns, the Warriors, like the Kings, like even that Kings loss, that was probably one of the worst.
Terrible fucking teams.
Like exactly, like even losing to the Kings were 11-30. So the fact they even lost that, even by double digits, even I just think it really showed you. And again, like this loss kind of like personified, like because Mikal Bridges shot 6 of 20, like Cat shooting 5 of 14, OG shooting 5 of 13. Their bench, Jordan Clarkson shooting 5 of 11, Yabusele shooting 1 of 5. So like I mentioned, their bench really isn't performing to the caliber that they can, to the standard that they can. And I just think it's really starting to hurt the team, like how kind of top heavy this roster is. So when the starters go out and the bench comes in and they can't even execute, and then you got some of your starters struggling. Like I said, Jalen Brunson hasn't been shooting the best in some of his last few performances. I think it's a bad recipe, man. Recipe for disaster, really. And like, it's the Knicks. People are always going to have them on their radar. So I really think it comes down to like, like they're really hitting a ceiling with what they can achieve right now. People are definitely hopping off the bandwagon compared to how they were so hot at the beginning of the year. But yeah, like I said, Jalen Brunson, he's shooting 48% from the field this year. So it's not too bad, but I think he could be better being the leader of this team, especially with how many shots he takes, it's his incredibly high usage with Jalen Brunson. So we're going to see what they can do moving forward. They got a big win in their last one. But outside of that, though, like as of right now, they're still the 3rd seed. They're 3-7 in their last 10. So I think Detroit is ahead above the rest. We're seeing other teams kind of hit that wall too, like Toronto, like the Celtics. So I think that the season's really just starting to really find itself right now. The Cavaliers are hitting their stride. They're 6-4 in their last 10. They're 25-20 after they were struggling for a minute. And yeah, so I think that Detroit, they really set the bar high for most of these teams in the East right now. But I still think the Knicks are, they're a good team. The players only meeting, obviously, like they made some progress with that with the Brooklyn win. So I just think they got to continue to really, figure themselves out as this season goes on. This is Mike Brown's first year. We know how proven he is as a coach, but I still think as it gets to the thick of it, teams are only going to adjust, only going to get better. Some people are only going to fall while some get worse. So we'll see how this New York Knicks roster fares, but I think they'll probably stay in this roster spot near the end of the year. They're going to get it together. This is just a rough spot. After the All-Star game, I feel like they're definitely going to really like have their rhythm. Like I said, and like how you said, Wiley, that Nets win definitely gave them a lot of confidence. So they got the Sixers on Saturday. So we'll know how they're really performing come that. What?
I'm sorry.
What? I'm sorry.
Oh shit! Damn it!
I'm sorry, bro. I can't. I try to hold it.
Was I lagging? My bad.
No. Garrett's funny.
No, you're good. Yeah. I know I was talking or whatever. I guess I haven't been watching the Knicks like that. You feel me? So I definitely wanted to make sure I got like my point across. Most definitely. Make sure I didn't like leave no stone unturned. But yeah,
you good. Go ahead. Go ahead, Garrett.
We'll see what happens though.
Yeah. All right. So with the Knicks, to Wiley's point, they were 18-7 at one point. And then now, if everything is right, they lost, 9 of their last, they lost 9 out of their last 11 games. Mm-hmm. So you're losing to teams that you shouldn't be losing to. Antoine, you mentioned the Kings, you mentioned Dallas, Golden State, they're a decent team, but the Knicks, they are a better team when you look at the roster up and down. So there have been rumors that the players are not bought into Mike Brown, allegedly. So if there's any truth to that, then that could play a part as to why they're in this slump. And like I said, adding to that, their players are not playing efficiently. So, of course, that's going to affect it. Now, I think that the way this Knicks team, the way it's constructed, and like I said, they were 18-7 at one point. So, obviously, something was working before all this took place. Now, yes, teams are going to go through periods throughout the season where you're winning, a lot of games, and the next thing you know, you're in this slump and you're trying to get back out of it. That's normal. But if you are a championship contending team in the Eastern Conference like the Knicks, then one would think that you would have a lot more success as opposed to how everything is going right now. So yeah, they are still a great team, but it's more so, okay, how are they going to get out of this slump? How are they going to get it all fixed? Yeah, having the players meeting, would help. But like I said, to me, about the Mike Brown situation, if that is a real thing, then yeah, that is going to throw things off, because I'm a believer that in order for you to win a championship, I feel like the players have to be bought in first. If right. Players are just going to go out and not listen and not really playing their roles, then this is what you're going to get. So I'm not sure if something just happened, like poof, the players, they just stop wanting to do their roles because they don't want to play for Mike Brown or whatever reason, then I mean, yeah, you can expect some stuff like this to happen. So I think that for the Knicks, I think it's more so of where they just need to go back and find what was working beginning of the season. Now I have to go back and look at their record for the first 25 to 30 games to see what teams they were playing against. But I mean, they were playing against good teams and they were winning a lot of games. So like I said, 18-7.
I got the schedule up.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, 18-7, you're 11 games above 500 at that point.
Right.
So
and you're beating the teams that you need to beat. That
right.
As far as when I say that, I mean you're beating the Clevelands, the Bostons, the teams that you need to beat to say that you're a contender. You beat Miami. So you lost one. I'm looking at Miami, 1-1, lost one.
Mm-hmm.
So you're 1-2. No, 2-2. So you break even with Miami. I see 2 wins over Cleveland. Just scrolling through, and this is even after the NBA Cup. So you still like,
so you were beating teams that you supposed to be, that you should have beaten, which is expected. So now it's where losing to, like I said, to the Kings and losing to the Mavs. So obviously there's a big disconnect there. Now I will say, because I know we're getting into a little bit further, but just want to get my 2 cents in. Now, of course, when stuff like this happens, of course, people are going to mention, okay, who should be traded, who should go. Now, honestly, I think that they could add more depth to the roster. Now, I don't think they need to blow it up. At this point, I don't think they need to do any of that. When you're a championship contending team, a lot of teams are more focused about depth and how they can add to their roster. So I think that's something they should take a look at. But I mean, personally though, I don't think the depth issue would fix a lot, because again, you had a roster that was working beginning of the year. So I don't think adding another player or two is going to make that much of a difference. I think this is more of a chemistry issue, not having any cohesion. So I think having to figure out how they're able to bring that back together, then that's where you go from there. So I think the adding depth part will only be beneficial if the team was more collective. So I think that's what it is. So if they're able to fix that issue, then yeah. But I mean, honestly, the roster is pretty good as it is. I know that they've had issues of not having quality depth, on their bench. That's why Tom Thibodeau was playing, the starters ever since he's been there for the longest, because they had nobody to come in and play good minutes. So so that's understandable. But like I said, I think this is more of a chemistry issue. Players not bought into the system and not really executing in their role. So they have to, flip the switch and see how they're able to fix that. And if they do, then we're going to see the same Knicks team that we saw before. Like Wiley said, 18-7, winning the NBA Cup. I think you're going to see that version of the Knicks. So if they're able to do that, then they have a really good chance of making a deep run to the playoffs and potentially get to the finals. But if this is how they're going to play, it wouldn't surprise me if Boston beats them in a 7-game series, because they're right up there right now. So we'll see what happens.
Go ahead, Antoine.
I was just gonna ask Garrett, what do you have their ceiling right now? You think like 2nd round berth or something like that
for the Knicks? As of I think best case scenario, I think they can make it to Eastern Conference Finals. But I still have them in Eastern Conference Finals between them and Detroit. But worst case scenario, I would say 2nd round exit, because I think if they happen to meet a team like Boston, for example, I mean, Boston has, pretty much, impressed me this year. They're the 2nd seed, 27-16, which is crazy. That's really good work without having your best player, Jason Tatum. But then also when you look at Toronto is a problem with the likes of Brandon Ingram, who can kill you in the, mid-range, and they have Scotty Barnes that's gonna score in transition, and other
RJ Barrett.
RJ Barrett. So I think if they end up meeting Boston or Toronto in the 2nd round, And if they continue to play like this, then yeah, I think Toronto and Boston they could certainly beat them. I wouldn't say they will sweep them, but I think they have the upper hand at that point.
They should.
Yeah.
So their next set of games, they have 76ers on the 24th, the Kings on the 27th, the Raptors on the 28th, the Blazers on the 30th, and then they kick off February with the Lakers. During this span, y'all have to figure some shit out. Like, and it's going to start with this. You have to travel to Philly, so you're going to have to go in there and get your shit really back on track. Like this Brooklyn Nets game. Like I said, that shit was practice pretty much. Watching that game, yeah, that was pretty much y'all might as well have been playing each other. But going here, get this win in Philly, and then we might can talk about something. But you cannot have another 2 4-game losing streaks. You had one with the Spurs, Hawks, the 76ers, and the Pistons, and then that second one before last night, the Kings, the Warriors, Phoenix, who shockingly a surprisingly decent team, and the Mavs. Also, Phoenix does not get enough.
They can slip just as far as the 6 seed.
Oh, the standings is crazy. So
yeah, they can slip. They lose about 4 straight. They can slip all the way down to 6th or 7th.
Dude, the only team that's in a good position right now is the Pistons. After that, 2 through 10. Well, no, I'm not even gonna say 2 through 3.
I'll say 2. I say 2 through 6.
2 through 5. 5, 6.
Yeah, 2 through 6.
Well, no, because if we add 6, then we might as well add 7. Well, no, 8. Because
and
I say that because
the
76ers who are at 6,
2 through 5 is better.
Magic at 7, Miami at 8. They all have 23 wins, but it's 23 and 19, 23 and 20, 23 and 21. So all of them are a half a game. So if you go on another fucking losing streak, you could, because you're gonna fuck around and be the 8th, 9th seed, depending on what damn Atlanta and Chicago start doing.
At least bottom, at least at right at 6.
Right. So
yeah.
They need to figure out as far as
you lose home court advantage at that point. So that's the worst case scenario too, because if you do that, then that means you would face either Toronto or Cleveland if they catch fire. So
right. Well, I'm still not a believer in Cleveland, but that's neither here nor there. You mentioned about trade as far as trade rumors. I did see trade rumors as far as Karl Anthony Towns possibly being shopped to Charlotte, Miami. Hold up, my bad. Charlotte, Orlando, and the Grizzlies. I think it's fool's gold. I think it's just more so this is what happens when you start going on losing streaks.
Yeah, I think
somebody has to be to blame.
The Knicks wasn't really trying to do that.
Yeah. But if I am the Magic, the Grizzlies, or the Hornets, I try and make that move by any means.
I'm not gonna lie. If he went to Charlotte, I'm just saying. If he went to Charlotte,
well, hold up. We have to figure out. Charlotte? We're gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do with LaMelo Ball first. I mean if they were on good terms with LaMelo Ball, again, have no clue what the fuck is going on with that, because his name got mentioned up in trade rumors. But let's just say, hypothetical, Charlotte goes and makes a trade for Cat. That's not a bad fucking team. Now you're going to have to give up. You got to give up.
That's pretty hard to beat. Well, I would say pretty hard to beat.
But you're going to have to give up. You're going to have to give up Miles Bridges. That's the thing, because Cat,
I think
Cat is set. He's making $53 million.
Like $50 million, yeah.
Yeah, he's making 53 mil. So
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have to come up off of Miles Bridges. I kind of would be willing to do that in a sense. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
You're
shit.
talking about
Look, you ain't won shit with Miles Bridges anyway, so shit. What it's worth a shot.
I mean, you're talking about a trio of Knuppel, Cat, and LaMelo Ball, and then
Brandon Miller.
Brandon Miller probably will still start. So I mean, I'm not sure how exactly would make the money work. I don't know what their payroll looks like, but I mean, if Charlotte is saying, "Hey, we're gonna go all in, we're gonna try to win," a Cat on their team, they ain't nothing to play with.
Yeah,
and they're really good at 3-point shooting team. So adding another one in Cat is gonna cause damage.
Even with the Grizzlies, if the Grizzlies,
the Grizzlies wouldn't make sense to me.
Well, it'd be
you're opening to trade Ja and Triple J.
And Triple J, but yeah, and that would be the thing.
Yeah,
that would be stupid on the Knicks' part to trade to do a trade with the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
and then the Magic, I can't see it with the Magic. I don't know how that team would look if you put Cat on there and you have Paulo Banchero.
And they just extended Franz Wagner like last year, so
right. So I don't see that. So I said,
I don't think they have the draft capital either because they traded 5 for Desmond Bain.
I think it's all fool's gold with that.
Yeah.
Again, somebody has to be to blame. The Knicks need to figure this shit out and quick, because again, you're not in the best space as far as the standings are concerned. I mean, you're sitting at what we say 3. Sitting at 3 right now. You're sitting at 3, but again, you got a shit ton of teams on your heels. So,
right on the
again, y'all got to figure it out. I hope y'all figure it out. It just seems that the NBA is a skosh better when the Knicks are halfway decent. Shout out to my Knicks fans out there. But again, handle business with the 76ers this coming up weekend, and then you got to keep that momentum going as you go along. Like, stop losing to fucking bad teams. That will help. I understand if you lost to 76ers or the Spurs or the Pistons, but losing to the Mavs, Kings, the Bulls, like losing to those, you should not be losing to those teams. Although Chicago, if they mess around and put some pieces together, man, they're going to be scary. But again, that's neither here nor there. Knicks, get your shit together. Y'all got anything else on the Knicks?
Not at all.
Nah, man. Just really want to see what they do. They made the ECF last year. That was the first time in like 25 years they made it that far. So, I do agree with you. I think the NBA is more fun when the Knicks are good. So, I hope they get it together. I think they will. They're too talented of a team, most definitely.
Right. And they also got to give Mike Brown a chance. Like, y'all got to adhere to whatever he's trying to put into play for you guys. And then on top of that, it's something that you think that's not working. That's why he's the coach. Talk to the coaches. Hey, we don't think this is working. I'm pretty sure they can come up with something else.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm pretty sure that y'all can work together to come up with something else. Like you. I mean, well, I would say you can't get them fired, but we've seen crazier things.
Of course, yeah.
But we appreciate everybody for pulling up and rocking with us tonight. Of course, please tell a friend to tell their grandma and them to come fuck with us, please. Now, we appreciate the 9,900 people via YouTube and Twitter. While we're here, please hit that QR code, go to the link tree, Follow us on socials. Be careful on socials, especially if you come pop the shit my way. I'm just giving you forewarning. I had to shut somebody down earlier this morning.
Oh man.
So, and it wasn't even nothing. I didn't say nothing crazy. It's just the fact of, again, if you come in my mentions, be prepared for a response. If you come out, if you come in reckless, if you come in on some back and forth, hey, we can go back and forth as far as a good back and forth. But again, thank you everyone for pulling up and watching and listening to the Uncommon Commentators. Please like, share, subscribe, comment. Please go and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And we will be back next week. We'll holla at y'all.
What's up? They gave me my theme.